suffered last year.
Running to throw first. Game on.
And after back-to-back final appearances on the European Tour, Suljovic is once again knocking on the door and making genuine claims here for a second European Tour title of his career. And he would love nothing more than to win one in front of his
140.
It would mean the absolute world to him to do it. Finalist in Gibraltar, finalist in Hamburg.
The family Suljovic here, cheering on their husband and dad, respectively. I assume Ronnie's got his brother here as well cheering him on. I know Kim is here. Maybe he's just gone home. Seen off rusty Jake Rodriguez. Yeah, all right, Ronnie, you take on Austria's number 1 in front of a partisan home crowd. I'm going to go and get my head down.
Imagine the Huybrechts meeting in this bottom half of the draw. But it could happen.
They have met on big stages before. Remember the meeting at the Grand Slam.
139.
Although it is Mervyn King who awaits the winner of this one. The King, very good earlier on today, beat Zoran Lurchbacher. Won it 6-2 with an average pushing 100.
164.
Ronnie Huybrechts for the biggest checkout of the weekend. Not to beat.
James Wilson was his opening opponent yesterday here in Vienna. He beat him 6-5 with an average of just over 88. 6 from 22 on the doubles. Room for improvement there, you feel, for Ronnie. Making his 4th European Tour appearance of the year. Hasn't gone beyond the second round this year.
133. Ronnie Reguil, 109.
Also made it to 4 European Tour events last year as well, and again didn't go beyond the second round in any of those either.
Mensur Suljovic has just scowled at the scoreboard there. Why? Well, he's hit a 13. I think he might have thought that would be to leave 32.
42.
Not a problem, 14-14, surely, Mensur. Don't moan about hitting that 13.
He only needs 2 darts at double 14. Usually he needs... Well, maybe, yeah. The way he's sort of celebrated that suggests that the error was not the scoreboards, but Mensur's himself. But he takes out the double 14 anyway. Now that is a chant I know the words to.
60.
Hey, hey, Super Mensur, I believe. And you don't need to speak German to translate that. It means, hey, hey, Super Mensur. I mean, it's the same in both languages.
54.
It transcends linguistic barriers.
Ah.
Just like the game itself.
Just like Mensur Suljovic himself. If aliens landed tomorrow, we could just show them a picture of Mensur to show that we are a peaceful, loving species. Gentle.
And he is the gentle. He is our ambassador for gentleness. Ronnie Huybrechts looking to get back on terms in this second leg.
A struggle if Mensur fires in a maximum here.
100.
He doesn't manage that, just 100, and already we're seeing the flailing arms of Mensur at his most demonstrative this evening. Always makes it interesting.
Well, this weekend has been all about brothers, hasn't it? We've been talking about the Rodriguez, but could well have 2 of the Huybrechts clan in the last 16 tomorrow. Work to do, though, here for Ronnie.
81.
And again, a look of exasperation on the face of Mensur Suljovic after that particular visit. He's down to 160, but he feels it should be a lot better off than he is.
100. Mensur Reguil, 160.
Mensur absolutely lathering himself up in chalk. There's more chalk on Mensur's hands than an old school blackboard. Oh. Ooh. Not quite. Ronnie not down to a finish, so Mensur sets it up.
140.
Double 10 will do for Mensur when he returns for a 2-0 lead.
And Huybrechts not really applying too much pressure here anyway. This leg may well be beyond him now. Suljovic looking at double set.
20.
Inconvenienced slightly here, Mensur.
Game shot
But not too much longer. 2-0 up.
Game on.
And he acknowledges the crowd's celebrations as well. Well, Ronnie Huybrechts has a couple of relatively recent Pro Tour final appearances under his belt, both against Simon Whitlock, one at the Players' Championship event in Ireland last October and one at this year's 5th UK Open qualifier, where he beat Gary Anderson and Michael Smith. And he hit a 9-dart finish on the way as well against Darren Webster.
I remember it well.
That was the 5th of 19 this year. Dare we talk about 9-dart legs here?
You talk about them all you want. I mean, you may as well talk about it. You're not going to see one. Don't happen on the European Tour. Curse of Ross Smith.
94.
And I could only dig out one previous encounter between these two as well. And that also was in the Players' Championship towards the end of last year. In the 19th event, it was a match that was won by Mensur Suljovic 6 legs to 4. And that is all we have to go on as far as previous encounters are concerned.
100.
Well, last year, Mensur Suljovic, obviously a lot of expectation on Mensur because coming into a tournament in his home city, it was when Mensur was really making serious moves up the rankings. He'd been doing it for a number of months. I think he'd cashed in every single event leading up to that in 2016. But he was beaten in a decided leg by Kyle Anderson, who of course went on to make the semi-finals. And for my money that weekend, Kyle Anderson was the best player across the tournament. But Mensur Suljovic looking to make amends. Oh, cannot find a second treble 20 that would have given him a dart at the bullseye.
98. Ronnie requires 77.
So to get a leg on the board, Ronnie Huybrechts, treble 19 for double 10.
Part 1 satisfied. Double 10 then for Ronnie. Just nudging the wire. Ooh,
he's busted.
And he's busted his score.
How often are we seeing people do that? Busting.
Echoes of Ian
15.
White from the UK Open.
I think Alan Norris did it twice in one leg last time out in the Euro Tour.
He
We've seen it all the time at the minute. I'm not sure what's happened. Have they made double 15 bigger?
And Mensur now all of a sudden is looking at a potential 3-0 lead here. Double 16 he wants.
56.
Well, the problem is Ronnie Huybrechts busting that.
77.
He's back to 77. I mean, it had been far better if he'd even missed inside, and he was coming back looking at double 5. But
Got to do it all over again now.
oh, well, it's only going to be a dart at the bullseye potentially. It is a dart at the bullseye. Oh, and he's bang in the middle of the bullseye.
Brilliant.
He couldn't hit double 10 with 2 darts, but he hits the ball with 1. Ronnie Huybrechts. Have you ever seen the light?
That's got to be one of the best moments of the day. Absolutely superb.
140.
Busts his score, comes back and takes it out on the bull. Brilliant stuff, Ronnie. And he starts off with a treble 1 as well.
83.
Suljovic kicks off with a ton 40.
Crowd doing their best to G Mensur on. Not that he needs much G'ing on, to be honest.
He doesn't. Back-to-back ton 40s here, in control of this 4th leg. Just keeping that average in the 97 bracket or so, 97, 98 or so.
41.
As I said to Paul Nicholls, and I'm ignoring averages now after Kim Viljanen's performance today against Peter
99.
Wright. Well, there was a huge gulf between the two, but it was the Finn who came through to win 6-5.
Yeah, it must be right up there with the biggest discrepancies in averages with the lower average winning.
122.
I remember Raymond van Barneveld beating Phil Taylor despite Taylor averaging 115 in the Premier League as Mensah.
Oh, look at this. Looking at tops.
Brilliant.
Absolutely sublime from Mensah Suljovic. The 77 from Ronnie was pretty special. That was pretty special as well. 1-2-2 for a 3-1 lead.
140.
50% on doubles, kind of what you expect from Mensah Suljovic. Expect plenty of this too.
140.
Expect a lot. He's got. I know he's a odd player to watch, and some people don't like that he's slow, and
I think he's quickened up a lot.
I think Mensah throws at all different kinds of paces, to be honest. It's just the inconsistencies with it. But I think it's absolutely fascinating. And don't let it detract from the quality of the darts this man has been throwing for a good 2 years now.
140.
He's a really good player.
Look, you don't stealth your way up to number 7 in the world. He may only have one PDC title to his name, but he is consistently
59.
Going deep in tournaments.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Especially on the European Tour as well. 2 finals back-to-back. In that final against Van Gerwen in Hamburg, I thought it was one of his quickest matches ever.
Mensah's the chance.
140.
Quickened up there as well. He had a little bit of momentum behind that final dart. Ton 40 gets him down to a finish of 81.
Yeah, real pro leg. 3-ton 40s, back to back to back to leave 81. Huybrechts not able to find a maximum.
Yeah, typical Mensah. Not a single 180 in this match so far, but 7 140 plus scores. It's exactly what he does.
He's got to be frustrated. The one thing I would say, if you're ever backing 180s in a Mensah Suljovic game, he will frustrate you because he'll hit 170s at the start of legs and 177s, 174s, and double 18. Good guide. Kiss off the barrel and in. Bit like that. Mensah headbutt as well. It's 4-1.
And the crowd absolutely love that. And there is a huge, huge gulf now in these averages. Mensah 106. Just down to 105 after that last visit. Ronnie on 85. 20 points between the two. First 9, very, very healthy as well for Mensah. Super Mensah is marching and cruising into the last 16 here. Living King, better watch out.
The double gilding as a thank you to the crowd there from Mensah Suljovic. Back-to-back 12 darters.
58.
How do you respond, Ronnie Huybrechts? Well, he responds with a 58 to kick off this leg, and that's not enough.
Yeah, that's been his problem over the last 2 or 3 legs as well. Started off with the 81 in the previous leg as well, and just isn't getting out of the blocks and putting Mensah under any pressure from the word go as Mensah orchestrates the crowd over Ronnie's shoulder.
This has less a feeling of a competitive game of sport and more some sort of like nationalistic coronation. It's like the welcoming home of King Mensah. This is just a sideshow for it. This seems a fait accompli. Mensah is just turning up here, being Mensah, and that is too good for Ronnie Huybrechts tonight, and everybody seems to know it. This may change. Ronnie is incredible. I mean, he should have won his first PDC title that weekend you mentioned in Ireland.
Yeah.
Should have beaten Simon Whitlock, missed darts to do so. And unfortunately, uncorked the Simon Whitlock genie, and he went on to claim another 4 titles after that in as many months. R.Huybrechts, maybe he could have been doing that over the last few months if he just found that way to win.
Yeah, one or two thought the Whitlock genie was back in the bottle, but well, on the evidence of what he did earlier today against Vincent van der Voort, maybe not the case, although Vincent van der Voort not looking totally comfortable on the hockey earlier. But back to the here and now. Mensah
65
is closing in on another leg here. 1-1-6 away with Ronnie on 2-2-5.
Well, he's going to leave himself a finish here, barring a catastrophe.
140.
Yeah.
Mensah require 160.
Down to a two-darter. Mensah Suljovic, one of the players who stays in the 20s for a 1-1-6 rather than looking at the 19s. Double 18, he's already got the weight of dart, adjusts the line, and it's there.
98. Ronnie
You
require
see,
85.
suggesting that he just dipped, didn't give it enough. And R.Huybrechts, that ton 40, has given himself a chance of a breaker throw here.
Yes, he certainly has. 70 away then. Bullseye for Ronnie.
60.
Not quite as deadly as when he went for it earlier on for the 77 checkout, and that means that Mensah Suljovic comes back, looking at double 9, which is just next door.
So you know what?
Yep.
Game shot.
There it is.
Mensah.
In that northwest corner, he is absolutely imperious. Okay, he missed one goal at double 14 earlier, but look what it means. Oh, he's celebrating. Will he be celebrating prematurely? I suspect he'll get away with it. R.Huybrechts has a lot of work to do here. Needs to win 5 on the spin, but
60.
well, the wind is clearly in the sails of Austria here.
Last night, Rusty Jake Rodriguez gave us quite the finale for a noisy Austrian crowd who cheered their man on with a
94.
stunning last 5 legs, hitting 180s in every single one of them, sent them home happy from day one of the Austrian Darts Open. It appears to be a similar story this evening with Austria's number 1, Mensah Suljovic. Rusty Jake couldn't repeat his heroics against Kim Huybrechts earlier on in the evening session. The number 7 seed, the Hurricane, going through to the final day of action. But R.Huybrechts has just not had an answer against Mensah Suljovic. And the 2,500 fans who have been chanting his name periodically through the first 6.5 legs of this, and they may not be
98.
chanting it for much longer while the game is going on, but I would imagine there'll be many more chants of Mensah's name long after the winning double is hit.
Yeah, it's worked out absolutely perfectly for the Austrian fans with that finale last night, and what seems like a perfect finale here today as well on day 2 of the Austrian Darts Open. Plenty more to look forward to tomorrow as well. Usual format on the final day. 8 third-round matches in the afternoon session, and then the business end of things from 7 o'clock tonight. Suljovic here looking at 1-2-7 for a place in the last 16.
To finish in style with yet another 12-dart leg. Does he go for it?
Go on, Mensah.
Oh, he does, and he misses it, and it was very nearly the fanfare finish that Mensah wanted to give these fans. You can see how disappointed he is. But he's going to come back. And that one, well, I mean, it was a resigned 57 from R.Huybrechts, that last dart. A trudge to the back of the stage because he knows what's coming, doesn't he? Double 8. Mensah nails it. And Suljovic